1, 2, 3, yeah!
This September, the City of Wilmington welcomed a new type of guest to Halyburton Park. With its official unveiling, this public apiary is now home to 2 hives of honeybees, providing a safe place for one of nature's most important pollinators. But now that they're settled into their new digs, what do the bees do? Susan Warwick of the new Hanover County Beekeepers Association introduces our new neighbors and gives us an inside look at the busy lives of bees.
Honeybees are vital for our ecosystem. They're our most important and proficient pollinators. They're vital to North Carolina's $87 billion agricultural industry. It depends on honeybees. The pollen is their source of protein, so they don't really realize that they're pollinating, but they'll go and visit flower after flower after flower, and their bodies are real hairy. So it's like static electricity. The little pollen granules will stick to their bodies, and then when they go from plant to plant to plant, and that pollen gets shared with the flower, and then you're going to end up with fruit. So each of these hives have upwards of 60,000 bees per hive. It's crazy. So we hit the summer solstice, and when we start to lose daylight, those bees know it. The queen knows it. She will slow down laying eggs. And right now in the fall, we're not going to have a lot of nectar or a lot of resources for the bees. So the numbers in the hive will start to decline, which is normal. Beekeepers typically do not take any of the honey that's in these 2 big boxes. We leave those for the bees. That's for them to be able to make it through the winter. And they're going to probably have 40 to 60 pounds per hive of honey in there in order to make it through. In the spring, the bees will start to, they'll start to reproduce. The queen will start laying a lot of eggs because she's getting ready for the nectar and the honey season. It's going to be probably April or May before we would harvest any of that honey, because what they'll be doing is bringing in all of the nectar. So they'll bring it back in. Those are the forager bees. They go out, they find all the resources, they'll bring it back to the hive. Then you have a house bee. They'll share the nectar with the house bee. The house bee will then deposit that nectar into the bottom of one of the cells. Smoke doesn't bother them, it just kind of like calms them down and just keeps the alarm pheromone at a minimum. This is the feeder, so we pour sugar syrup in this part and they climb on the screen and come get it. So I've got a little bit of capped honey here and then syrup all down in here. Some of the ones that you hear buzzing really loud, that's probably a drone. The drones are the males. Their job is to mate with a queen. All of these are females, they're the worker bees. This is a frame of brood. Just a lot of new bees are going to be emerging from this frame. That right there that looks like pencil erasers. That's drone cells. The flat, those are all going to be worker bees that will emerge. There again, there's your drones that'll be emerging. That's a queen cup. Those cups like that would be if they felt like their queen was not doing a good job. They would actually move an egg from another cell and put it in that cup. And her sole job is to lay eggs. She'll have bees that will feed her and clean her and protect her. So the queen lays an egg. The egg kind of looks like a little teeny piece of rice, like miniature piece of rice. And as it develops, it turns into a larvae. And then it'll go into a pupal stage. And that's when they cover it with that brown paper bag. We're going to be doing some educational programs. I think we're going to be scheduling 4 a year. What they can do is just appreciate the fact that they don't have to be afraid. Definitely respect the space that the bees are in and around, but I mean, we're standing right here now and there's no problem. So learning how hard they work and just watching their movements, you know, it's just fascinating. It's real relaxing actually if you're not terrified.